like that. Okay, so and Krishna's reciprocation with such conditioned soul, which is imbibing the demoniac nature. So 16.7, Krishna is establishing the demoniac. Some say nature, some say philosophy, but let's say. So verse 7 is they don't know what to do. Pravartim cha nivrittim cha jana na vidur asuraha na saucham na api cha charo na satyam teshu vidyate. Those who are demoniac do not know what is to be done, what is not to be done, neither cleanliness nor proper behavior, nor truth is sought with them. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in Chaitanya Chaitamrita talks about, and Prabhupada talks about it in his lectures very often as well, the meat eater. Says, what is the problem with meat eating? What is the problem? Okay, one thing is we are not trying to be vegetarian or non-vegetarian. We are not trying to establish that sect at all. We are trying to be Krishnatarian. So our foundational thing is that Krishna does not accept that offering, so we don't do it. But if Krishna would have said that he accepts, we would have done it. But he doesn't say that, right? And the other thing is, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says that he even goes further in Chaitanya Chaitamrita to say that meat eaters are untouchable. You can even touch a person who's eating a meat. Why? Because the demoniac qualities. Okay, the qualities are something which make us go to someone or make us go away from someone or something. And we can actually study that very minutely in our own lives. So Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita 18 chapter verse 31, this, what is to be done, what is not to be done. Actually, you tell me what mode of nature is it in? Do not know what is to be done, what is not to be done. Is it goodness, passion, ignorance?
Ignorance.
Okay, I thought so too. Okay. Okay, anyone else would like to say anything? Goodness, passion, or ignorance? Okay, so of course nobody wants to participate because we don't want to be wrong, you know. This strong desire because Krishna has kept us like that. He makes himself wrong to make us right. Actually, in Golok Vrindavan, if you minutely study the pastimes of Krishna and his friends, where does this tendency come from that I want to be right? Because he makes himself wrong to make us right. So we have that same tendency, but in a perverted form. You don't want to try because if I try, I'll be wrong. Okay, so in Bhagavad Gita 18 chapter verse 31, Krishna says this. O son of Pritha, that understanding which cannot distinguish between religion and irreligion, between action, let me pull up the verse. Because I see some heads turning to figure out where is my Bhagavad Gita and where is the words. There's so much commotion, you know, that goes on in this class. So verse 31, here you go. I have made life convenient for us. The O son of Pritha, that understanding which cannot distinguish between religion and irreligion, between activities that should be done and action that should not be done, is in the mode of passion. So basically, we don't have to grow red hair and standing hair and very big nails and be intoxicated to be called as a demon. Even an activity in the mode of passion can be. Okay, so here he says that what is to be done, what is not to be done. So this is in the mode of passion. So it says, and what is a distinguishing factor? If you remember that what defines a person to be a demoniac quality and what defines a person to be of divine qualities, what is the distinguishing? What is the line? What's the distinguishing factor?
Hare Krishna Mataji, if he performs actions according to scriptural injunctions, then he is divine, otherwise he is demoniac.
Very nice. Yeah. So adherence to the Shastric principles is the defining line whether somebody is demoniac or somebody is divine. So person who is a demoniac quality does not have two things. Either they don't have a faith in the Shastras or they don't have proper understanding of the Shastras. Or they can have both, no faith, no proper understanding. So they don't have faith or they don't have understanding or both. So they propound this philosophy. There's a story which actually I'm reading from Bhujan Das Prabhu's book of Jackal and Vulture. For Krishna. So once there was a child who had left his body in a village. Hmm? And the whole family and the villagers were making arrangements for the last rites and were grieving and mourning. So the jackal comes in and tries to, gives a word of wisdom and glorifies the soul that had left the body and gives them, and everyone feels very satisfied and attracted. That moment, everyone feels very attracted to the truth of life for that moment. So, and then once Jekyll found out that he has everyone's rapt attention, he tells them, now, why don't you take some time off? Today, it's already the sun is going to set because we don't do cremation after sunset, right? So, sun is already going to set. Why don't you take the time off today and go and sit down and think about the qualities of the person who was alive, a child in that case? And then the vulture is seeing all this. So the vulture comes and starts to say that, there is no point in waiting or doing anything because the soul has left the body. And once the soul leaves the body is nothing but a lump of matter. He starts giving that he starts propounding his own philosophy. But what is the main mentality behind the two? It's not that they are trying to give some sort of wisdom or Krishna consciousness to people people who are assembled over there. The main aim is that jackal is a night animal. So when the people relatives go in the night, he will devour the body in the night. Vulture is a day animal, so the vulture wants to devour the body in the day. So they both have their own selfish motives to accomplish, but they are trying to make up a philosophy which will make them very attractive and full of knowledge. So basically, it says, regardless of the specific words spoken, the vulture, the jackal, and the demoniac speak philosophy only to achieve their selfish ends. So in Krishna consciousness, as we read a lot or associate a lot or maybe serve and try to understand, when we come to Krishna consciousness, like I have conquered the whole life. It's like that, right? I've become a pure devotee in a day. But then as the time goes on, it's like, oh my God, I'm so far away. So we understand that what is my intention before I do an action. Understand. What is the intention? So that is in the mode of goodness. A Krishna conscious person, a divine person with divine qualities will try to be very thick with the intention before doing an action. But a person of demoniac quality will do any action to fulfill their demoniac intention. Okay, any action. What is to be done, what is not to be done. No external cleanliness, internal cleanliness, or proper behavior or truth. So, what is they don't know what is to be done, what is not to be done. They're unclean, improper behavior, untruthful. They're the characteristics. Then it goes on. Asatyam apratishtham te jagat ahur anishwaram aparasparam sambhuta kim anyat kama ahetukam. So again, continuing with their thought process, the world is unreal, no foundation, no God in control, produce a sex desire, no cause other than lust. So the whole idea the whole idea. So the category, the umbrella of demoniac qualities includes a person in the mode of passion, also includes a proud atheist. Okay, so we all have this mixture of divine and demoniac qualities within us. So we just have to catch it. So when Krishna is giving us these instructions, it just helps us to catch that where is it sitting inside me. And if you meet somebody who is overtly saying that everything is unreal, there is no foundation, there's no God. I have heard one Shivram Maharaj, I think it was an interview or some talk, that somebody comes and says that I'm an atheist because it serves my purpose. So he actually asked that person that, why are you an atheist? What purpose has been served? Why are you an atheist? So I was like, wow. that I wouldn't have thought of that question. You know, somebody is atheist, is why are you an atheist? When you can be better in your life by being a theist, why are you an atheist? The person did not have any concrete answer. It was all like hovering over in the middle platform. So it's a philosophy, world is unreal, no cause other than lust, and produced of sex and of desire. So basically, if you see that this philosophy helps them fulfill their intention. I want to be the enjoyer, I want to get this, that. But if there's God, then we become, then there's an element of responsibility, and there's an element of, carrying over the action, the fruits of action. But if there is no God in equation, then this is the life I'm going to live, and I'm going to live the way I want to live. Because it serves that purpose, they think there is no God. But we don't care about that. Now, verse 9 to 18 primarily talks about the activities of the people of demoniac nature. Following such conclusions, demoniac who are lost to themselves, who have no intelligence, engage in unbeneficial, horrible work meant to destroy the world. Prabhupada mentions about lost to themselves. It mentions about Ugra Karma, right? He mentions about nuclear weapon invention and atrocious activities like animal killing. Okay, but in Srimad Bhagavatam, he talks about more of unbeneficial and horrible work, including technological advancement or cigarette smoking or in alcohol or breweries and nightclubs or large-scale industrial development and trade. All these are demoniac qualities. And as I said, demoniac qualities are in the mode of passion, and we are on earth where the mode of passion is most predominant. So there is no deficiency of finding a fault in this world, because there is fault everywhere. But we don't have to go find it. Just become aware of it so that we can not get impacted by it. So attitude and engagement, they are lost to themselves. They have no intelligence. Illusion, no intelligence, because they think to be advancing, but engage in a work that is destructive. Right? Nowadays, what is it? Countries called as who have nuclear power? NATO? What is it called as NATO? This, anyone knows?
NATO is the alliance, Mataji, not the nuclear thing.
So what
They're
are
just
those countries called as who have the nuclear power? So there's some term, if you remember, but the thing is that if you look at it, which countries are powerful, which countries are very advanced, are not going to be the countries where there is Krishna consciousness flourishing, and right, the definition will be which one has the most military power, which one has the most nuclear power, which one has the most GDP, most exploitation of resources, right? These are so it's already demoniac, already demoniac. The attitude is already demoniac. So we are sitting on fire, actually. So engagement is unbeneficial, horrible, meant to destroy the world. Prabhupada said advancement means something that you can stop death. Not that something which is anyway going to happen, you accelerate it. Anyway, going to die. Right? No one is going to, it said, what is it? I think I said about it. I mentioned, you tell me if you remember. Once on an airport, I think it was Chicago, I saw the video many years ago, that Prabhupada was being interviewed by a reporter, and she was asking Prabhupada, India, why is the mortality rate so high? Is it because the medical system is very broken? Is it because there's like medical system has so many gaps? Why is the mortality rate so high? Child mortality rate, infant mortality rate, maternal mortality rate is so high. Why is it so high? Okay, you know what Prabhupada said, right? It's Prabhupada. It's not going to be like a community medicine answer. He's not going to go and find, oh, because we have a broken government system, or because this doctor-patient ratio is off, or because our resources are not properly utilized, or because we have so many other things to take care of other than the health of the person. You know what he said? He said, it's Prabhupada, okay? He's not a person of this world. He said, mortality rate is same everywhere, 100%. So, so basically, says advancement does not mean that we actually accelerate death or dying of the people. It means actually we delay, we make them more Krishna conscious. Okay, take shelter of insatiable lust, pride, false prestige, being illusioned, always sworn to unclean work, attracted by the impermanent. They believe that to gratify senses unto the end of life is the prime necessity of human civilization. Thus, there is no end to their anxiety. Being bound by hundreds and thousands of desires, by lust and anger, they secure money by illegal means for sense gratification. So, Asha Pasha Shanter. This is called Asha Pasha Shanter. That Asha Pasha Shater, sorry. That getting the money from here and there to gratify one's desires. So, Prabhupada has given us 4 regulative principles: no illicit relationship, no gambling, no intoxication, and no meat eating. He said these are the 4 pillars of all the sinful activities in the entire world. So 4 pillars. If we can stay away from this, then we can save ourselves. What does saving ourselves mean? Saving ourselves means that we are actually able to, make our consciousness calm and quiet to imbibe the principles of Krishna consciousness. Person who is in demoniac nature or in mode of ignorance cannot understand Krishna conscious philosophy. Cannot. Because the consciousness is so disturbed that you cannot connect to the Paramatma. So, so save yourself, save ourselves, and then go ahead. I think there's going to be more. So, mentality is attracted by impermanent, insatiable lust, and they're illusioned, absorbed in conceit of pride and false prestige. So, basically, the mentality, whenever is like, am I attracted to impermanent or permanent? Am I attracted to something? So, where is my concentration going through the day? Watch it. When I first read this over 20 years ago, I had a list of people in my mind who are like that. Oh, that person is attracted to impermanent, this. But after 20 years of reading it, the thing is that, oh my God, all this is inside me only. So I don't have to look outside. So like, oh my God. And then you can watch yourself through the course of the day. That, okay, at 4 in the morning, I'm attracted to Mangalarti and chanting Hare Krishna and all these things. But as the day goes on, and as we get busy with our engagements, like, okay, I'm like really now I'm like really caught up with this particular problem. This is not happening. This is not working. My kid is not doing this attracted. So they're attracted by impermanent. Oh, this didn't work out. Oh my God, maybe that person would have done something like that. So you see the demoniac qualities. I see a transition in myself that, oh my God, I had a list of people 20 years ago who said, this person is demoniac mentality, this. And now that list is gone and I have everything. So, bapre. So, like Krishna tells us that basically, save yourself because you're not Jagat Guru. So, and this is how a person thinks after imbibing all this philosophy and doing activities. They think themselves the Lord of all they survey, right? So much, I love this verse. The demoniac person thinks, so much wealth do I have today, and I will gain more according to my schemes. So much is mine now, and it will increase in the future more and more. He is my enemy, and I have killed him, and my other enemy will also be killed. I am the Lord of everything. I'm the enjoyer. I'm perfect, powerful, and happy. I'm the richest man surrounded by aristocratic relatives. There is none so powerful and happy as I am. I shall perform sacrifices, I shall give some charity, and thus I shall rejoice. In this way, such persons are deluded by ignorance. Okay, so we studied activity in passion, and then there is this thought which is in ignorance. So, so when you get a phone call about enroll in this life insurance scheme or housing scheme, or this scheme says, and then you invest this much money and then you will gain this much money, it's like according to my scheme. I'm not saying don't do that. I am saying that just be aware that what is your intention. What is the intention for doing or taking this step? Is it in the divine quality or is it in the demoniac quality? Because there is no end. There is actually no end to how much we can accumulate and how much we can try to gratify our senses. You know, right, when a devotee gets tired in Chaitanya Chaitamrita, or is it Chaitanya Bhagavad, there is a verse, I don't remember the last two lines, where it's like, Kamadhinam katina kalita palita durinidesha, tesham jata mai na karuna na kripa no pashanti. You know this verse? Kamadhinam katina kalita palita durinidesha. It's like this Brahman who has served his family all life long, and he's now looking back in his life and telling Chaitanya Mahaprabhu that, oh my God, Kamadhinam katina kalita palita durinidesha. He says, oh my God, what have I done all my life? Oh my God. So I have tried to satisfy the senses, my senses of my family, but katina kalita palita durinidesha. But they don't get satisfied only. You satisfy one desire, then another desire comes up. You satisfy that desire, then something else comes up. And not only that, first is they don't get satisfied. Tesham jatamai na karuna. And no mercy. Okay, thank you. You have done so much. No, na karuna. Na kripa. No pashanti. No mercy, no satisfaction, and no shanti. Tesham Jata Main. Okay, and then I don't remember the line, but the other part is that he's surrendering to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and saying, I'm tired. I have tried to live the life according to the satisfaction, trying to satisfy my desires of my family and my people around me, but it's tiring me out. So now I have come to you and surrendering onto your lotus feet. Now you tell me, please give me protection and shelter. I'm paraphrasing, but that's how it goes. So either we have to go through this demoniac route and then come to this Tesham Jata Mai na Karuna na Kripa na Pashanti, or a most intelligent person will be like, oh my God, I don't want to even get there, so I will take a detour around it. Okay, so understand that. The mentality is, I'm the controller, false ego which connects spirit to matter. I'm perfect and powerful. Everything has been done by my potency. Everything will increase. Right? So many leaders of the world are like that. And then everything is like that. My enemies are defeated and I'm happy. Oh my God. You clearly think, right? The leadership in demoniac mentality. Or we don't have to go to the world leader. You can look at, am I actually running my house with this mentality or not? How a demoniac person think and deluded by ignorance. I'm the Lord of everything, enjoyer, perfect, powerful, happy, richest man surrounded by aristocratic relatives. None is so powerful and happy as I am. He's my enemy, killed him, so many enemies will also die. I shall perform sacrifice, give charity, and I shall rejoice. So much wealth I have today, I will gain more and more and more. My happiness will increase more and more and more. Prabhupada mentions Ravan in the purport. He wanted to build the staircase from earth to moon, so people don't have to do sacrifices to reach there. Doesn't happen. This happens. Aneka chitta vibranta mohajala samavritah prashaktah kama bhogeshu patanti narake asachau. Thus perplexed, By various anxieties and bound by a network of illusions, one becomes too strongly attached to sense enjoyment and falls down into hell. Okay, so it's like network of illusion. Once, in Gidanagri, I was just sitting in the Prasadam hall. Just that's the beauty of association. You don't even have to be sitting in a Bhagavatam class. You're sitting in a Prasadam hall, and I heard some boys talking about, what they like about Prabhupada's writing. So they were discussing, and I was just hearing. One of them said, "Oh my God, I love Prabhupada's writing because how he writes is like is very easy to visualize." So, oh, easy to visualize? What is easy to visualize? So Prabhupada writes that you are in the shackles of Maya. Shackles, he said shackle like as if you are like handcuffed by Maya and chain cuffed, and you're just in the shackles and going everywhere. So everyone else was like, "Oh yeah, tell us more, tell us more. How do you think shackles are Maya?" So here is writing network of illusions. So bound by network of illusions. Who talks like this, huh? Other than Prabhupada, the network of illusions. So we are trying to network in the outside world, and we are trying to build a network. So it's like, okay, if the network is not in alignment with Krishna consciousness, sorry, Prabhupada says you're in the network of illusion. But it doesn't have to be that way. It doesn't have to be, because once we become aware, we can change it. We cannot do anything if you're not aware. And too strongly attached to sense enjoyment and falls down into hell. And the person in demoniac nature will say, "What is the problem with the hell?" Huh? I gave class once in Gitanagri, 5th canto. I think is the last chapter of 5th canto. And there were this series of description about demoniac, about hellish planets, the planets in under Earth. And as it goes from one planet to another planet, of course, the life becomes more and more difficult. But the planets, I don't remember, Atal, Patal, Vital, Sutal, like what the places are described by Sukdev Goswami. Some of them are actually very beautiful. Some of them are very, very, the cities are very nicely arranged. The gardens are very nicely cut. The houses are very nice and clean. People have snake body, but they are bedecked with a lot of jewels. This is described. I read the last chapter of 5th canto. I remember we were having such good time. Like, I thought this is America also, right? Nice houses, nice cut gardens. Everything is nice. But so the hell can be good too from outside, or maybe Australia and Canada are the same. I don't know. Is it? So yeah,
We
must be
also
same.
think the same. We also think the same,
Canada.
Mataji. What a Maya we are in.
Keep Australia is the same. Very nice.
Yes, Mataji, very much like how Prabhu said, we're all in that kind of illusion. So,
We get
Yeah.
cyclones, we get hurricanes.
Yeah, no, but you see the houses here are like, okay, a very good lawn. I'm not saying don't have a good lawn, a very good, very big houses now, 3, 4 people living in a house. Oh my God, I had this when I used to work in Massachusetts. There was this couple, elderly couple. They had 20 bedrooms and 30 bathrooms. How many people are living in the house? 2. How many people are coming to maintain the house? I don't know. I lost count. Says so very big houses. I'm not saying don't live, but I think we get lost in these houses then, I'll be lost if I'm living in a 20 bedroom, 30 bathroom house. What am I doing here? My Guru says he stays in the house of a devotee in UK. He's a urologist, and he says he has, I think, 10 or 12 bedrooms. He was telling me when he came to live with me, and so many bathrooms. So I said, Gurumaj, how many people? He said, well, they have children, but they all moved out. Now it's just husband and wife. So I said, Gurumaj, it must be like really lonely in that house. He said, yeah, but he's a devotee, so he actually does weekly program, invites 300 devotees in the basement to do the program. So a devotee can get empowered. Okay, so we don't fall to hell if we get something like that, and if we are able to manage it. So basically, it may look very alluring and very like attractive in the beginning, that, oh, this is so good. But if we sit with it, then Krishna is saying actually it is not, because it is going to lead to various anxieties and network of illusions and attachment to sense enjoyment, and then there'll be hellish life waiting even further. I spoke about marshmallow experiment, right? Did we discuss this marshmallow experiment in Stanford University? Yes or no? I don't know which class. There's so many classes lately.
Not in this class, Mataji. I don't think so.
Okay, there's a very famous marshmallow experiment done by psychologists in Stanford University in California. So what they did is that they 4-year-old children, 4-year-old children, they went to their daycares and they gave marshmallow to the children in the preschool. And then they said that okay, you have 2 options. One option is that you can just right away go and eat this marshmallow. Or if you wait 15 minutes, then we will give you the second marshmallow. So you'll get 2. Kirti Mataji, you're muted if you're saying something. Huh?
No, Mataji, I just recollected you. You had said this in another class, so I just recollected this story.
Oh, you follow me?
Oh, yes.
So,
Always.
anyway.
Most of the time, yes, Mataji.
Okay, so and then these psychologists, you know how they are. They followed these 4-year-old for the next 20 years of their life. So they actually made record of which child immediately gave into the temptation to eat one marshmallow, and which child waited 15 minutes or something and got a second one. So they said, okay, now how did you become 20 years later? It says children who actually waited for 15 minutes for a second marshmallow were much more successful. Of course, their definition is different, but I'm trying to make a point. Much more successful, much more accomplished, and much more patient than children who, when they were these 24-year-old, when they were 4-year-old and they had given into that temptation right away, were underaccomplished, underconfident, and also trying to still figure out the life. So basically, it says that if we give in to something out of temptation right away, then it is not a very good sign for what we are going to be 20 years from now. Okay, so here it says Krishna is saying develop the control, and we can actually build on it based on 17th chapter also, that why to do an austerity, because the counter question can be that why should I not give in to my temptation? Okay, there is a difference between theoretically knowing and there is a difference between applying it one's life, and then there is a difference between really realizing it. Okay, so this is how we become. We move from the stage of Shraddha to Nishtha. Shraddha is faith. Nishtha is firm faith, right? In the 9 stages of bhakti. So there's a difference in theoretical knowledge, in application of that knowledge, and then becoming realized in that knowledge or in that concept. So one may say that what is the problem? A demoniac person will say, what is the problem in giving into my temptation? What is the problem? If I wanna watch a movie, I'll watch a movie. Because it feels good. And self-care means I need to make myself feel good. So what is the problem? What is the problem in going and eating in a restaurant? What is the problem in having a drink or so after a hectic week of work? I'm taking care of myself. So how do you say that? One way you say, okay, you go live your life and figure out what Krishna is saying. What is the problem? What is the problem? Chalo, mujhe batao, what is the problem? I will. Arey yaar. What is the problem? Self-care, I'm taking care of myself.
Because once you start giving into temptations, one thing will lead to another. You start
Mm.
giving into small temptations, then bigger, problems will also come, and then you will give into those, the control, you will lose control.
Okay,
That's
very
a
nice.
big line, big but fine line. The moment you allow some impurity to come in, then the bigger impurities also start coming in.
Okay, very nice. Okay, so take care of it take care of the spark before it becomes a wildfire. Okay, right. Anyone else? Anvya Mataji? Yes, I know you want to talk. Tell me.
Yeah, Mataji, संस्पर्शजाहि भोगा दुःख यो न य एव. So that is like we have to tell them, you do whatever you want to do, whatever watching a movie or whatever, but this end result will be there. It's not going to give you happiness.
Well, I feel happy.
Yeah, so it is, yes, you'll feel happy, but that happiness is not going to last.
Nothing
Okay?
lasts. I'm not going to last also. I'm
No,
being a
but
devil's advocate. I'm also not going to last.
yeah, okay. So then this thing, whatever movie you're watching, see, you're losing on your time. See, you could do so many better things. You could study, or you could do your work, or you could do exercise, something like that.
Hello,
You
Tika. I'll not grill you anymore. Okay. Anyone else?
So, just like Mataji, Prabhupada said that, okay, Krishna consciousness, worst comes to worst, at least that will give you good health. You
Well, I have a good in medical insurance and doctors. Okay, very nice, very nice. I just want to hit the nail, but you're not wrong, Mataji. Don't try to think that I'm trying to roast you or something. But there's I'm just trying to fill a gap because we also, while practicing Krishna consciousness, can have this, and I have seen it in my 20 years of ISKCON. Maybe I have also done it. But what is the problem? A little bit of this here, a little bit of this there. What is the problem? What is the problem? Okay, one is that it's easy to subdue the spark before it becomes a wildfire. The other thing is, okay, if you give in to something small, it will find its way to become big. Okay, what else is the problem? We waste time. Okay, what else? Or I can reframe the question and say that my motivation to give into my temptation is a self-care. Okay, it makes me feel happy, and I have a right to feel happy. I worked so much whole week. I'm like burning candle at both the ends. There's some relaxation I deserve. Self-care. So my motivation of giving into my temptation is self-care. So the question can be reframed, and then what is my motivation to do some austerity? Because I have to find a motivation now. What is my motivation to do some austerity? I have reframed the question to accommodate the audience, but we will still not say anything. Shiva Srinivas Prabhuji. Yes. What is the motivation to do the austerity?
You mean to say like the self-care as a austerity or?
No, I'm saying, you see, I'm presenting two scenarios. My motivation to give into my temptation is that I want to take care of myself. I want to feel happy. I'm feeling tired. I want to feel relaxed. Right? That's the motivation. Hai. So he said, and I'm saying, don't do that. He says, okay, then what is the motivation behind not doing it, behind not giving it to a temptation? What is the motivation?
It does not help me towards like there is no spiritual inclination towards that.
Okay, very nice. Anyone else?
Mataji,
Yeah,
when
would like. Yeah, go ahead, Prabhuji, please.
no, you go ahead. Australia first.
No, Mataji, I heard once in Swam Bhagwan Keshav Swami Maharaj's lecture that, always people have four kinds of things what they want to, like how they would like to escape, the regular life from. Either they want to go on a vacation, or they want to sleep for some time, or they want to watch a movie or take some kind of an intoxication. But then he said, like, whatever we do, all these things will come to an end. So we sleep, we wake up in the morning, the intoxication we have, it'll all come down. So we are trying to find the happiness in a very temporary kind of way, which is not forever. But when we invest that time in trying to find, happiness in spirituality, by doing some kind of austerity and, devotional service, then we find the actual joy. So maybe I'm not sure if it can relate to this, Mataji, but that was something I remembered.
Yeah,
Hare
thank
Krishna,
you.
Mataji.
Nikhil Prabhu.
Similar, Mataji. It's like, it takes away from the ultimate goal. We get into temporary distractions, and then our journey towards that goal becomes little more, that goal becomes more distant. Again, we are like, oh, we are losing this many more years of hard work. We gave into temptation. Maybe with this life also we will lose the chance that we will lose. So we need to keep the goal in the mind all the time. What is the real goal? The permanent happiness. Is my activities today, my mistakes, my temptation, giving temptation today taking me away from the goal? Then it's not worth it.
Yeah. So, yeah. Okay. Very nice. Thank you. So, the problem is that you see we are driven by some sort of service. Like the Prabhupada explains that the core nature of a soul is to serve, like service. There's he said he saw in Western countries that if somebody doesn't have the relative to serve or a dear near ones, then they keep a dog. That because the tendency to serve is so strong. Right. So if we doubted that tendency to serve to Supreme Personality of Godhead, then Krishna says that austerity pleases him. So my austerity is pleasing to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Right. So I would do something which will serve that purpose, or as Nikhil Prabhu saying, is going to serve Krishna. So I can have my motivation that, okay, I can do all the sense enjoyment, I can do, but I just have to be aware by virtue of Krishna consciousness that this is actually not going to be a long-term solution. I can give in, I can, sleep more, I can go get intoxicated, I can do all those things, but just be aware, oh my dear mind, that this is not going to be a long-term solution. But if I don't do it, if I don't do it, then it'll please the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And right now I'm feeling alone that in this tug of war or push and pull of temptation, no temptation, temptation, no temptation. Right now I feel like it's a tug of war, but the faith is that Krishna, once he's pleased by my austerity, this tug of war will no longer exist. Right? And then we can have this, like, this has already happened in our lives. That's why we are sitting here. In some way or other, this has happened. Right? I called Namanishar Prabhu when I used to study and said, everything is okay, 16 rounds and all the things, but I can't give up drinking coffee. You don't understand my life. I said to him, you don't understand. Okay, I have classes from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. and then I have to go to hospital from 4:30 p.m. to 9 p.m. and then start again. And in the middle, I have to read, I have to do this. Now I have added on things in my life. I remember telling him, don't tell me don't drink coffee because I feel so relaxed. So he didn't say anything. And I was like, why is he not saying anything? Why is he not saying it? He didn't say anything, I remember. And every morning from the mess in the hostel, now you also have to share, okay, what your journey. I'm sharing mine first. I used to bring that cup full of coffee from the mess, and I used to put it in front of me, and I used to read Bhagavatam. Half an hour, 1 hour, I used to read before going to college. And then I used to look at the coffee. He said, Bhagavatam coffee, Bhagavatam coffee. You have to choose. So actually, coffee went away. It didn't have to be, it was not a struggle. It was not a struggle. It was a struggle. It was a huge struggle. My God, it was like a huge struggle. But then eventually it was not a struggle because it was like, okay, maybe I did something. Maybe I don't know what happened. Maybe there was this element of mercy. There's not a struggle. It's a small accomplishment, but it gives so much of impression. What was your problem? And then you did the austerity, and then, or you questioned the temptation, and then eventually it was not a problem. Nobody wants to share. Maybe you all are elevated souls in the beginning. I was the one who was.
It is live on YouTube, Mataji. We will be public. Our problems.
Oh, we have secrets. Is it different
Don't know.
between secrets?
We have got so many problems. We don't know which one to start with.
Okay, so maybe when we go offline, we can talk. Perplexed by various anxieties bound by network of illusions, become strongly attached and then to sense enjoyment. So basically understand Krishna is saying that attachment to sense enjoyment is because of the network of illusions. And the network of illusions is because there is so many anxieties. If I do this, then I will, like if I have this much money now, I will get that much money tomorrow, and then I will be more happy. Like this is how a demoniac person is thinking. Now I have killed my this enemy, and that enemy will also die. Then I will be more secure. I'll have less enemies like that. So Moha Jal, a network of illusion bound by a network of hundreds and thousands of desires and illusions, and we know the examples. Ravana gave one example. आत्मसंभाविता स्तब्धा धन माना मदान्वितः यजन्ते नाम यज्ञस्ते दम्भेन अविधिपूर्वकम् self-complacent and always impudent, deluded by wealth and false prestige, they sometimes proudly perform sacrifices in name only without following any rules or regulations. Right? So that they can become more and more famous. Ravan also did a lot of sacrifices. So it's a hypocritical nature in preaching. Being self-complacent and impudent, they are deluded by wealth and false prestige. Falsely perform sacrifice in name. Proudly perform sacrifice in name only, which means that they want to be known as a very charitable personality, but it's not serving the purpose to go to Krishna. Their hypocritical religious observations cannot save them. Like sacrificing the animals in the name of performing a sacrifice. It's not in any rules and regulations in this age. We don't have those brahmanas who can test the Vedic mantras. Ahankaram balam darpam kamam krodham cha samshitaha mam atma paradeheshu pradvishanto abhyasu yakaha. Bewildered by false ego, strength, pride, lust, and anger, the demon becomes envious of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is situated in his own body and in the bodies of others, and blasphemes against the real religion. So, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur comments that it's not that the envy to the Lord situated in the own's body, but it's also envy to the devotees of the Lord. There's this envy and unable to tolerate a devotee's advancement, and they only see fault. To feed that envy, they always fault finding in the devotees. That this devotee is not like this was not like that. I remember being a devotee, like not like this, but it's okay. This person is the beginning. This person is like, I can go and talk to this person. This person is on my level. So, and this person is elevated. So you see all these demoniac tendencies become visible in one's own I'm not saying that Rupa Goswami has not told us that the stratification of Madhyam Adhikari, Uttam Adhikari, or Kanishta Adhikari. I'm not saying that, but start grading them and grading yourself in relation to them. Oh my God, that's horrible. Actually, that's horrible. It's very Krishna consciousness. As I'm growing old, I'm realizing is about becoming more free and becoming more fearless. All these factors are binding. They make the material life very prominent, even in the practice of Krishna consciousness. Can you believe that? Like even when we are practicing Krishna consciousness, we can make our material life more prominent. So he's saying, Srishna Chakravarti Thakur says that we become envious. So what is the difference between envy and jealousy? This is a very commonly asked question, but why will you ask me? Because you don't ask questions. So I'll ask. Difference between envy and jealousy.
I like the thing that you have, but I don't like the fact that you have it.
What is that?
Envy.
What is jealousy?
I दोनों फर्क है.
Okay.
I don't like what you have.
Very nice. Yeah. So it's like the difference between dislike and hate. So jealousy is like a beginning. So jealousy is just like, okay, I actually like what you have. That's jealousy. I like what you have. Oh, you're so educated. I like it. Oh, you live in Australia. I like it. That's jealousy. I don't live in Australia. You live in Australia. I like Australia. Okay, it's jealousy. Envy is I don't like the fact that you have it. I should be the one having it. That's okay. So it's like different gradation, like difference between dislike and hate. So difference between frustration and anger, like that actually these feelings build on if we don't catch them soon enough. Right? Who is this person? Who is Krishna beheading? Who is this?
Shishupal.
Shupal.
Like we know the pastime, right? Everyone knows the pastime.
Yeah, 100 sins that he committed. This was
No,
the
100
last
times he
sin.
was allowed to curse Krishna.
Yeah.
But it was going to be 101, then Krishna was going to behead him. Okay. Tan aham dvishatha krunan samsareshu naradhamam kshipami ajasram ashubham asuriv eva yonishu. Those who are envious and mischievous, who are the lowest among men. Okay, verse 19 and verse 20, Krishna talks about his reciprocation with demoniac people. Okay, so far he described so many things, but what is his reciprocation? Those who are envious and mischievous, who are lowest among men, are cast by me into the ocean of material existence, into various demoniac species of life. Asurim yonim apanna mudha janmani janmani mam apra eva konteya tato yanti adhamam gatim. Okay, let's read this. Each word is important. Asurim yonim apanna mudha janmani janmani means that after birth, asuri yoni or species of the demoniac species, demoniac life is attained. Mam aprapya eva. Not only that, I actually become more and more unavailable. Aprapya. Mam aprapya eva konteya, o son of Kunti. Tato yanti adhamam gatim. They go on sinking into this abominable type of existence. Birth after birth. So this is a very interesting verse. Attaining repeated birth among the species of demoniac life. Such persons can never approach me. Gradually, they sink down to the most abominable type of existence. So, fate of demoniac is they glide down to hell. They never attain Krishna. And what is the hope for them? Because God is supposed to be all merciful. Now, there's Baldev Vidyabhushan Prabhupada asks this, that Arjun can ask this question in this particular verse. that birth after birth, they are burning the thing, they're burning up their karma. So why can't they become eligible to get your mercy, Krishna? Why can't they become eligible? Birth after birth. Because Krishna is saying, no, birth after birth. Actually, they go on sinking down all the more to the abominable type of existence. So Baldev Vidyabhushan Prabhupada says Arjun can ask this question now. That how is it? Because God is all merciful. And this is looking like a lot of like punishment and partiality. Oh my God. And okay, and Krishna, you know, he is an amazing personality, full of apparent contradiction. He says, what is the most important, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says, what is the most important verse of Bhagavad Gita? I have to send my kids to school. Tell me quickly, what is the most important verse of Bhagavad Gita?
Ichit Suduracharo.
Okay, you are following me. Yes, so apiche saduracharo bhajante ma vananya bhag. So it says, my devotee shall will what is it? Even if one has committed the most abominable activity, if they are properly engaged, they are not to be considered sinful. They are to be considered rightfully situated, right? But here it's saying that okay, birth after birth, you know, asrim yonim apanna, mudha, janmani. It is congratulations, birth after birth arrangement is made. Not only that, mam aprapyeva kantaya, you won't get me. What you'll get is most abominable type of existence. So Krishna, I'm just going to read from the book that Baldev Vidyabhushan Prabhupada says, Arjun may ask, but after many lifetimes, they should eventually receive your mercy, by which they will be freed from their demoniac births. Hai na? We are also asking this question. Now Krishna answers, these foolish persons take birth in demoniac forms of life, birth after birth. Failing to achieve me, they descend to lower forms of life, even taking birth as dogs. So in the phrase, failing to achieve me, the word eva, I'm just trying to see where is the word eva here. Anyway, failing to achieve me, the word eva or certain indicates there is no possibility of my mercy falling on them. It is even difficult for them to achieve a good form of life that would be a prerequisite to obtain me. Then the following question can be raised. But the Supreme Lord automatically has his every desire fulfilled. He can make even the unqualified qualified. The answer is yes, he could. Yes, he could make unqualified qualified if he had such a desire. But actually, he does not have even the seed of that desire. Thus, the author of the Vedanta Sutra has described the Lord's partiality in the Sutra. Veshamya Nirgrinena. The Supreme seems to be unfair because of his partiality to some and his enmity towards other. Okay, but so how do we understand? Even I'm trying to bridge the gap. Even I have a question that why Krishna is being so harsh. I think it's not a partiality, because if we remember our discussion on that verse from 9th chapter, that I am not friend of anyone, I'm not partial, I'm same. Samoham sarvabhuteshu name bhakteshu name priyaha, right? That verse. That over there also Baldev Vidyabhushan Prabhupada comments that it's not that Krishna is partial. It's not that Krishna is saying I'm impartial. But how do we understand? So I understand that what is the meaning of the word partiality? What is the meaning of the word partiality? Partiality means, the meaning of the word partiality literally transforms to that I have something, but I'm not going to give it to you. I'll give it to someone I like. I have it, but I'm not going to give it to you. That's partiality, right? So it's not that Krishna is being partial. Then what is, then how can we say that Krishna is mostly inclined towards his devotees? And he's sending these people down to the hell, life after life, and becoming unavailable. Is partiality. Then no, it is not, because it's not that he's withholding his devotional service from any of the conditioned soul. He's not withholding the devotional service to him from any one of us. Then he's reciprocating. He's reciprocating to our desire. This person who is a demoniac mentality does not have that desire. Understand? This person doesn't have that desire that I want to be a devotee of Krishna. I'm tired. No, Tesham jata mai na karuna na kripa no pashanti hasn't happened. Kamadinam katina kalita palita durinidesha. It hasn't happened. So they're continuing. But when it will happen, Krishna will help. So it's not partiality. Then we can say, okay, then how is it that he is giving his devotional service to someone? Because that person has that inclination. It starts from us. And Krishna just picks up where we are. Then the other aspect can be, then how come that he's glorifying his devotees so much? And this sounds like a threat almost, right? This verse sounds like a threat almost. If you don't do this, this is what is going to happen. Like a mother is scolding a child. It's almost a scolding that attaining repeated births among the species of demoniac life. Such persons can never approach me. Gradually, they sink down to the most abominable type of existence. Right? There's a song, My Children Sing to Me. It's actually a song. It says, the way I tell them, sometimes they say, Amma, you tell us like this, I am your mother, you listen to me. so it's almost a threat. It's a song. Like, look up, I'm your mother, you listen to me. So why? Because Krishna wants to show us what the life is when we become his devotee. And he also wants to show us, if you don't become a devotee, then what is your life? So the choice is still in our hands. It's not a partiality. Partiality का मतलब होता है कि मेरे पास है, I have it, but I'm not going to give it to you. But that's not what is happening here, okay? That's not what is happening here. Do you get it? He's glorifying his devotee because he wants to show that become like that, because then that's how your life will be. I don't know if I'm clear or not. It's very hard on online classes. I think we'll stop here. Questions, reflections. Okay, now according to Baldev Vidyabhushan, Arjun now asks Krishna in this verse 20. This is very interesting. It's a link to 21, 22, 23, 24 verse. People hearing this are going to want to give up these qualities. It is almost threatening. What can they do to accomplish this? Krishna answers this question, and in this way presents us with our own choice. Either adopt demoniac life and become degraded, or reject it and obtain the supreme destination. Same. Right? Did I make you understand, or was I successful in confusing you even more further? What did I do?
You were very successful in helping us understand.